Right, Lee Carsley's first test as interim England manager comes tomorrow against the Republic of Ireland. He's going to take training this morning before heading to Dublin. Our senior reporter, Rob Dorsett, is at St George's Park for us. So, Rob, Lee Carsley's first game then. He already knows what it's like to play in Dublin, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's weird how the fixture list throws these up, isn't it, Vicky, that a man who won 40 caps for the Republic of Ireland is now England's interim manager, and his first game in charge in Dublin, of course. Lee Carsley is out there, look, putting the bibs out now while the players warm up in the background behind him. And I think that's significant, by the way, the fact that you're seeing Lee Carsley very much hands-on in the middle of this training session. I've written a piece for the Sky Sports app that talks about him being England's first real tracksuit manager since probably Kevin Keegan more than 20 years ago. He gets involved. He wants to take training. He's a very technical coach. So whilst Gareth Southgate left most of that to Steve Holland in the past, Steve Carsley will be right up there in the middle of it. He's not going to take the warm-up session now. He'll be doing the technical stuff and the tactical preparation for the game against Ireland tomorrow when we've turned our cameras off after the initial first 15 minutes that were allowed. But a big moment for him and a big game for him. Of course, he wants to impress his FA bosses. He wants to try and get this job long term, but he knows it's going to be a very hostile environment out there inside the Aviva Stadium. He's played in it himself. He knows what the boys in green and their supporters can do in terms of creating an intimidating atmosphere for away teams. And on top of that, there's his connection with Republic of Ireland. Born in Birmingham, 40 caps for them, dual heritage, could have played for England or Ireland, chose Ireland. Declan Rice and Jack Grealish are both of that ilk as well, further out behind Lee Carsley at the back there, if we can find Jack Grealish and Declan Rice if we can, because it's going to be quite a moment for them as well, because both of those played junior football for Republic of Ireland before switching allegiances. In Declan Rice's case, he actually played 3 senior caps for the senior team as well before pledging his allegiance to England. So I think they can expect a hostile environment inside the Aviva Stadium. What about outside it? Well, look, we know that this fixture has had a history of some problems, but that's quite a distant memory now, in truth. 1995, that game was abandoned between the two teams, and that really had nothing to do with football. The UK Football Policing Unit have told me that they have no intelligence at all that would suggest there was any trouble suspected or expected amongst the fans outside. And if the weather is like this in Dublin, which we expect it to be similar to, Vicky, then huge numbers of England fans are going to travel and enjoy the experience. 2,900 of them have officially got tickets. There'll be many more England fans going over to try and enjoy the experience, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looks glorious at the moment. Interesting as well, seeing Lee Carsley with his iPad. I don't think I've seen that from an England manager before. Maybe. Look, in terms of his senior players, he's going to need them, isn't he? He's going to rely on them tomorrow night. And one of them is closing in on a landmark.
And he's right in the middle of your picture there as well. The captain, Harry Kane, look, just doing some stretches with the rubber band there. Yes, we expect him to speak to the media, by the way, later on, alongside the England manager. Harry Kane, the captain, and the new England manager, Lee Carsley, talking to the media in the Match Day -1 news conference, as they call it. And we expect Harry Kane to start, and in doing so, he will win his 99th cap for England, an extraordinary record. He was pushing for the golden boot, wasn't he, in the Euros, despite the fact that he had all those fitness problems. We know he's England's talisman. We know how important he is as a leader in this group, and I fully expect Lee Carsley to rely on him heavily to get his message across. That's one of the things that Lee Carsley will have been doing in the last few days, is spending a lot of time with his captain as a liaison, as a catalyst, if you like, to get his message across to the wider group. Question marks about who will go alongside Harry Kane in those attacking positions, because of course you've got Grealish, who we've already mentioned, you've got Anthony Gordon on the left, you've got a Beret Eze as well on the left hand side. My gut feeling is it may well be Anthony Gordon, who Lee Carsley knows very, very well from the under-21s, right in the middle there. Look, with his blonde hair, you can see Anthony Gordon. Won the under-21s Euros with England last summer with Lee Carsley as the manager, so might he get the nod ahead of Grealish and Eze? I think that's a possibility, but I think you've got to expect that Bukayo Saka, form and importance that he's been for England and for Arsenal, means he'll probably start on the right wing, I think.
Yeah, interesting you're talking about Arsenal players in midfield. You think Declan Rice will start, but Carsley does have other options, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, and it'll be interesting to see what he does, because he's got this this real blend of youth and experience in this squad, hasn't he? We know there's 4 first-time call-ups, And so will they get a nod? You can see Angel Gomez, look there, the diminutive Angel Gomez. Everybody talks about his height, but Lee Carsley has been stressing just how excellent he is a technician. A bit further to the right, Angel Gomez in that group disappearing behind the net. Will he get a start? Maybe not from the start, but I think Morgan Gibbs-White may well get the nod. With Cole Palmer and Phil Foden withdrawing from this squad because of various illness and injury, Morgan Gibbs-White and Angel Gomez are the only recognised number 10s that Gareth Southgate has got out there. So Morgan Gibbs-White may well get the chance, but I think it's fascinating that the man in the middle of your picture there, Kobbie Mainoo, just to the left look, is we don't even talk about him that much. A little bit further left, Kobbie Mainoo, it's very difficult. They're so far away from us, these players, but there's Kobbie, look, the Manchester United midfielder. I think it's a really good chance that he will start in the midfield for England alongside Declan Rice and maybe Gibbs-White, depends who Carsley goes for. But Kobbie Mainoo, almost a feature in that England midfield during the Euros by the end of it, and probably first choice for Lee Carsley as well, despite the fact he's only 19. So that'll be a really interesting one to see how Carsley blends this group of experienced and youth players together.
Yeah, and you're talking about experience there. What about at the back then? Because Harry Maguire has been recalled, hasn't he? But will he come straight back into the team, do you think, Rob?
Well, that's a really interesting one because, look, Lee Carsley has said he wants to play and include players who've been playing a lot for their clubs. And you can see Harry Maguire in the middle of your picture. Look, he only came on for the last 20 minutes or so, didn't he, for Manchester United against Liverpool the other day on Super Sunday, and the game was already lost by then. John Stones has played even less. He's played only 40 minutes of football this season for Manchester City. So the two stalwarts of Gareth Southgate's time in the middle of the defence, will they both be in? I think one of them will, but I fully expect it to be Mark Gay, who's almost first choice centre-back for England right now after his performances for Crystal Palace, but crucially at the Euros as well. Gay was probably England's most consistent and outstanding player. So I think it will be Gay with either Stones or Maguire alongside him, which is a real changing of the guard, isn't it? And then you've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think that is just on the right-hand side of our picture there. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold will probably come in at right-back. Just coming into our picture there, look, Trent. Of course, he's got competition from Tino Livramento as well there. But Levi Colwill is the only left-footed defender in this squad. A really good chance that he might start at left-back as well. So, look, we'll talk much more about Carsley's choices, his selection issues, the options that he has over the next couple of days, of course, and we'll put them to the manager himself, who is out there flipping up a ball as we speak to you right now. And as I mentioned, he's really hands-on, Lee Carsley. That proves the point, doesn't it? He loves the ball at his feet, and he loves the players to have a ball at their feet as well. Lee Carsley and the captain Harry Kane speaking to us live on Sky Sports News later on. We're expecting that news conference about 7:30 in Dublin. The players will fly mid-afternoon and head over there ahead of us.